Alright everyone, welcome back to another Overwatch 2 hero review with the main heroes on display, Echo and Pharah. Now, this is an interesting combo because from what I'm going through today is going to determine two things. One, being who's the better DPS, and two, who's going to get more air superiority. Now, the skill sets are kinda different to each other, but they share the same airborne playstyle that benefits their team. However, one provides a bit more mid-range, and the other one is a bit more upfront and personal. If you enjoyed this content and want to see more, hit that subscribe button and comment down below on which heroes you would like to see next, and let's get straight into it. Now, starting off with Pharah. Pharah spends most of her time in the air, and what keeps her afloat is her hover jets. These provide a 20% movement speed buff and allows her to fly vertically upwards for about 4 meters. Its duration is around 2 seconds, however it refills around 45% per second, so if used sparingly alongside her jump jets, you can spend most of the time through the air. Which leads us to her next ability, her jump jets. These help Pharah propel herself into the air at a max of 11 meters. Along with her hover jets, keeps her flying until this ability can recharge to propel her again. You can reach greater heights with some combos with her primary fire and her Concussive Blast to stall her in the air, so you can reach greater heights with every use of the ability. Now onto her main weapon, the rocket launcher, and everyone should know how a rocket launcher is used. It's a projectile weapon and a direct hit of 120, while the explosion is between 25 to 80 damage depending on how close they are to the splash. It has 6 ammo, and do note you can hurt yourself or even kill yourself from your own rocket launcher shots, because I've done that plenty of times. Now, this ability can be used in multiple ways. The Concussive Blast is a projectile weapon that has an 8 meter radius, which knocks back enemies it strikes. A lot of people use it to push enemies away from you that get too close, or push enemies off the map or into holes that are anywhere around the map. It can also be used to propel yourself as an invasion maneuver to help escape or get right up close and personal. Now, her favorite saying whenever she uses this is "rain from above." The barrage is Pharah's ult. Upon use, fires a continuous barrage of mini rockets to overwhelm and rinse enemies. It has a direct hit of 40 with a splash of around 9 to 30 damage. It can also hurt herself. Do note you're completely immobilized when using this, so you're open to being shot down. However, if you're unnoticed and you use this behind the enemy team or even above them, you can cause some major damage to the team or cause a major panic, creating an opening for your team to move up. Alright, now that we've explored the capabilities of Pharah, let's go straight to Echo. Alright, starting with her flight, Echo propels herself forward quickly while then able to fly freely throughout the air for about 3 seconds max. This is also combined with her glide ability, as when those 3 seconds is up, Echo can glide while falling to keep herself afloat for a short duration. This also gives her a 50% movement speed buff while gliding. Alright, onto her main weapon, the Tri-Shot. It's a projectile weapon that fires 3 shots at once in a triangle pattern. It has 12 ammo and each pellet hits for about 17, for a total of 51 if all 3 hit. It's a very powerful shot if up close, and it can do some massive damage in a short time frame. However, keep in mind that triangle shot trajectory is, from a mid to long range, it's difficult to deal a mono round of damage, so it's good to be a bit forceful with Echo. Now, the sticky bombs, I believe, is what makes Echo a very annoying hero, but it is also powerful. It is a projectile that fires a volley of 6 sticky bombs, each dealing 25 upon explosion, and an extra 5 if the bomb hits on impact before detonating. It can also damage you, so be very careful about that. Since it only has a 6-second cooldown, it is used continuously, which I believe makes it very annoying, but like I said, it's very effective at the same time. Next is the Focus Beam, the Kamehameha, of course. She channels a beam for around 2 seconds, dealing very high damage to targets with less than half health at a max of 16 meters. So, think of it this way. So anyone with above 50% health gets dealt only 50 damage per second for a total of 100, while below 50% gets dealt 175 damage per second, so a total of 350 for a 2-second duration, which is a massive difference. So if you see anyone on low health, just beam them quickly. Now for her ult, which is Duplicate, which I believe is a massive help for the team in any situation, as she can duplicate any target hero enemy and gain their abilities. She also can get their ultimate 7 times faster, but her health is capped at 300 health if transformed into a tank. She can turn into a healer to help the team and provide that extra support to push, a tank to provide shields and pressure, and even an attacker to dish out some major damage. And since you get your ult super quick, you can even get your ult twice in the 15 seconds duration of the ult if you're lucky. If her health drops to 0, you revert back to Echo with a 1 second invulnerability, so you do have that little bit of time just to clear out. Alright, now that I've gone through all Pharah's and Echo's abilities, it's now time to go through the main 7 points on who's the better DPS overall, also with better air superiority. And those points are mobility, survivability, skill, damage, support, versatility, and of course their ultimate. Now this is my 3rd video review going through this, and to be honest, this was a very one-sided answer thing, and I think most of you might know who I'm going to pick as well. I love doing these close reviews to keep you guys on edge to see who would I choose, but as I've thoroughly gone through all the abilities, there's just only one character that deserves it more. Now starting off with the first one, mobility, I'll give that to Echo because her going through the air, she has a lot more movability going around the place, and she can actually glide straight up to the ceiling. So I reckon her mobility is a bit more. I was kind of going towards Pharah a little bit here just because of her constant keeping up in the air, but I don't think it's all that effective compared to Echo's. Second is survivability. I'll give this one to Echo too because she's not a primary target most of the time. Since most of her long range attacks are not too effective compared to Pharah, she's not that much of a target compared to the hit scanners. So if say if a Pharah flies up, that raw damage, no matter what distance, always does around like 120 worth of when it comes to like a full impact shot, so it's like more deadly. When it comes to Echo, you have to be more close up and personal, so everyone will be going for Pharah, so Echo's a bit more better at that one. When it comes to skill, Echo as well. Pharah is very easy to pick up, while Echo you need to be a bit more forceful and determine when the best time to push up is, and who to go for in certain situations. Pharah is more of just stay back and get those picks, and trying to figure out the best way to utilize your ultimate without dying. Damage, it was kind of a close one for that one. See, Pharah has way more raw damage, and from a distance can deal some major poke damage while keeping a safe distance at the same time. But Echo, however, has more damaging abilities. Instead of just like the primary like rocket that Pharah has, Echo has the tri-shot, the sticky bombs, and the beam, which all do incredible damage up close. So I'm going to give that one to her. Now with support, yep, that one's going to Pharah. Because she provides some major poke damage from afar, and with her Concussive Blast, provides some distance between your allies and enemies too if they get too far. And since she's constantly in the air, I reckon she's actually really good for providing some type of surveillance over the field, so she can always relay back to your team on which enemies are actually pushing up from the side and stuff like that. Echo does fly up, but over time she does glide all the way down. She is on the ground more than what Pharah is. Versatility, Echo, because of her ult change into any enemy on the opposition to help do more healing, blocking, and damage, depending on who she chooses of course, is a massive help for the team. And being able to quickly move and have more mid to short range abilities, it blends more with the team setups compared to Pharah always just being kind of at the back. And to be honest, without a mercy pocket, she's kind of helpless when it comes to all the hit scans and stuff like that, because she has quite a large hitbox compared to what Echo has. And now for the final one, ultimate. We all know it's Echo. Just because of an insult to injury, Echo can actually transform into a Pharah and do her ult a lot more effectively, because everyone knows Pharah using the ult, it's more likely that she dies when using her ult. So you always hear rain from her, ah. But with Echo, if she goes Pharah and uses the ult, well, she actually doesn't die, she just goes back to her Echo form. So she can at least get 2 picks, and even if she goes back to her original form, she's still alive. So of course the obvious winner is Echo. She just makes me think that she's overall better DPS than Pharah in most aspects. Pharah's most unique trait is probably being able to stay in the air longer. Don't get me wrong, I love Pharah. But she's still good for the team, but I reckon she probably needs a mercy pocket to be that much more effective for the team. Of course that applies to so many others, but a mercy Pharah, which is what everyone knows as a pharmacy, was just so strong when the game first came out. But now over time that Echo's out, Echo's abilities just provide that much more versatility for the team, and to be honest, her abilities kind of are similar to Pharah's but greater, with more abilities. However, that is my opinion, and this is all for fun of course, but I'd love to hear what you guys think on who's the better DPS overall. Even if you think I'm completely wrong, tell me in the comments below. It's fun to hear what you guys think about who's the overall better DPS. So thank you for watching everyone, I do hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys next time.